Another episode of UFO Garage.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Joe, and this is where we talk about UFOs, aliens, and, you know, all things weird.
All things weird, baby.
What's up, dude?
Hey, what's up, dude? How's it going?
Not a lot, man. Not a lot. Just been chilling, working my ass off today. It's been hot, but it's been a great day, so dude, can't argue with that, right?
That's what's up, man. I have been working hard as well. I've just been sitting in a chair staring at a computer, so I did not break a sweat. But hey, even though you might have broken a sweat, your hair's looking fantastic, dude.
As always, dude.
Glorious, glorious, bro.
Hell
We've got another glorious hairdo on the podcast tonight. Dave Scott, ladies and gentlemen, from SOR Spaced Out Radio. Dave, what's up, dude?
I apologize right off the bat for trimming my beard a week ago, Joe. You know, I wasn't trying to look more like Ben, just to be honest, you know, but I apologize. And I'm going to be honest. I just got sick of it, man. I got sick of it. And I was tired of looking like Santa Claus and pictures of Randy Quaid on Google. And you know, I thought, what's next? A straw hat fedora that I'm going to have to rock with that. No. Like, that's the point that it was getting to.
Oh man, it's okay, man. I was a little bit mad at you at first. I haven't posted on your page in like a week because I was so upset.
I noticed,
but I think I'm over it. I'm over it.
But you got to realize, I mean, somebody like you puts a lot of pressure on me. I mean, you got the gorgeous beard that is all dark in color. You got a thick mustache up there that I can't grow. You got that gorgeous hair that I've literally seen in braids, like way past your chest. And I'm jealous of that, man. I tried. I'm going to grow the hair out again. The hair I'm going to grow, you know, but I'm jealous of that look, man. But I'm going to say for the record, though, all right, going back a year and 2 months ago, when we all met at UFO Con in San Francisco, with your hair going the way it was, the braids, my hair being flat iron, we killed it, man. We
absolutely did. Yeah.
We killed it. And for people who don't know, like, we had both men and women coming up to us asking if they, like, Joe and I are standing together. They were literally asking, can we touch your hair? You know?
Yeah.
It was awesome, man. And poor Ben is sitting there saying, you know, I have hair too. I do. And they're like, well, we don't want none of yours. We don't want none of that.
I think at one point somebody said ew when I tried to get in the photo, you know. Dude, I'm telling you, man. I mean, you're kind of rocking the Joe up top and then the Ben down bottom, you know. It's the best of both worlds, bro.
But you know what's scary though, guys? When I shaved my beard, I didn't realize how much weight I've gained over COVID.
Oh, no shit.
Oh, dudes. Like, I all of a sudden got this. I don't have a double chin. I have like a triple chin. The only reason why you can't see it with the camera is I got it angled just perfectly. So you only see this part, but I've got this part covered up. Oh, yeah. It's all camera manipulation right now.
Yeah. Movie magic. It's all about man. I mean, when I shaved my little beard, I realized that I've got some baby chins. So I mean, I guess, you know, I totally get it. I don't know. I had some crumbs stuck under there. I don't know if you had any like extra food or whatever.
Well, that was the other thing too that was bugging me is this part here where it would grow in. Literally, every time I go to take a bite of food, that hair would like grab onto it like it's Velcro, and it's like then it get a mouthful of hair, and it's like, Jesus, I don't want to eat my goddamn beard. I want to be able to eat some food here, you know. So that pissed me off too. So there's a number of reasons, man.
Yeah, dude. I don't know how many pounds of hair I've eaten in my lifetime, but I'm sure it's quite a bit. My wife is like, you got to trim that mustache a little bit because I'll just let it go. Like, it's so weird. I have all this stuff on my face and I don't even notice it.
Man, you guys rock it. You guys rock it. And by the way, I want to say, I just want to say this, guys, from the moment we met, we've been instantaneous friends. I think that's a fair comment to make. But I've watched you guys grow within the field here, and I just want to say that I am so proud of you guys, and I'm so proud to call you guys friends. And not only supporters of Spaced Out Radio, but just take the radio shows aside and the YouTube channels aside. I just want to say how proud I am of you guys for everything that you have done and your hard work has done to bring some fun into the UFO community. I think that's a reputation that's really going around out there, that you guys are good guys and that you're really appreciative and that you're really super fans who've kind of fallen into this with a really cool idea, and you're making everybody comfortable. And you go around the UFO field, there's going to be people who talk smack about me and other people in there, but nobody is talking trash about you guys. Everybody just loves you guys, and that's a testament to the type of people both of you are. And I'm not just saying that for the viewers who are going to be watching or anything like that, but it's God's honest truth, because we have met and we have stayed in contact, and you guys rock, man. And just keep up the great work and what you guys are doing, because every piece of success that you guys work for, I know you're working hard for it, but you're really working it because you deserve it, and you're building that grassroots reputation that you're two really good dudes who are just really interested in a real cool subject or subjects, and it's working for you. So just keep it up, man.
Yeah. Love that, man. Oh, come on. I mean,
thank you so much, dude.
The YouTube clip, right?
There's your commercial. Yeah. There's your commercial.
Man, yeah. Hey, man, I can't thank you enough for that, man. I mean, it's been a pretty wild ride the past 2 years, and it's been so organic, and it has been absolutely like a pleasure meeting a lot of people that do this, man. And I think it's kind of one of those things where it's like, hey, we're doing this, and people kind of know our name a little bit, and it's we're just we're doing what we do, and I guess we just kind of want to do it justice. It's like, we don't want to just
Well, here's what I've noticed, guys. Okay, so many people who get into this field, they want those giant names. They want the Elizondos. They want the Melons. They're on social media all the time saying, how good their work is, and you should follow me. And look, this field is full of head cases. It really is. Whether it's UFOs, cryptids, whether it's ghosts, it's full of head cases. And I think the reason why a lot of people are loving on you guys and your name is growing so naturally is because I know you guys don't give a shit about that. You don't care about, you're just as happy to have no name Dave Scott on there as you would be Luis Elizondo or George Knapp or somebody like who's a premier name in this field. Like, it doesn't matter to you guys. And I think that's why so many people are really getting attracted to your show, man. And if I can help promote you guys in any way, I will do that, because I think you guys are doing it right. You deserve it. There's no ego there. And why wouldn't we help? That's what it's supposed to be about. Trust me, guys, there are people out there I do not want my name attached to, right? I don't want my radio show attached to. They'll never be on my show as guests, and they've never been on my show as guests because of their ways of doing things. And it's ridiculous because, hey, we all want our numbers to grow. We all want to be as big as we want to be, myself included. We just rolled, not trying to brag, I just rolled, 11,100 subscribers the other day. I took a picture of it on YouTube. It was 11,111. 11111. And
that's awesome.
And to me, I'm like giving the thumbs up. Yeah, Dave, right on, man, right on. And then, the week previous, Jimmy Church hits 100,000. And I'm like, I got a long way to go. Long way to go. But
yeah, man, it's for us, it's not so much about the numbers and stuff. It's about the the conversation, like, yeah, it's a UFO podcast, and we talk, UFOs, aliens, and all things weird, man. But one thing that we enjoy doing is getting to know the person. A lot of times people will come on and we barely even talked about aliens, and
oh yeah,
it's really a way to like get to know somebody. And that's one of the coolest things, man. We love chatting with people and just having good conversation.
Yeah. Dude, I want to say real quick, before the time gets too further away from the subject, but Dave, man, we've been looking up to you for a long time. I mean, even before we met you, and I can't, let this slip by that we have so much to thank you for helping us out along the way. I mean, we've had some of our favorite guests on the show because of you. I watch your show, multiple times a week. I'm a night owl. We're up working, and dude, like, it's just like my favorite thing to do is, work late, listen to SOR. Boom, we're in the chat. So much fun. But yeah, man, I just got to say thank you for all that you've done for us.
Trust me, it's a pleasure. And I really wish that there was more in the community that could have that type of growth together, because that's the fun of it all, guys. No matter what, I don't care what anybody says. When you go on YouTube, or you do a live YouTube, or you do a live radio show or podcast or whatever, you're doing it to get your name out, and you're doing it to get the people out. Imagine what would happen if we all just worked together. How much further would we be, instead of the backstabbing, the conniving, complaining about panties, complaining about this or that, or the way this person looks, or the way that person talks, or whatever. Imagine if we just all worked together.
Yeah,
but
absolutely,
it's a cutthroat field. And the one thing that I have learned through this, and I hope you guys never have to go through this, but the bigger you get, the tighter your inner circle has to be, because there's always someone who you think you think you trust, who is willing to try and bring you down, whether it's emotionally, whether it's publicly, whether it's anything. And, I think you guys are kind of above and beyond that because of what you do. But I think that it's something that you got to be careful of. And, like the people, like even the people in my life 2.5 years ago, most of them are not around. Most of them,
damn.
Right? for certain reasons. And what happens is, the bigger you get, the harder that people try to what's the word I'm looking for? To bring you down.
Yeah.
And it's hard, because you make some amazing friends along the way, but now you have to have your backup with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone. I mean, you can never just pause, relax, joke, or anything, because you always have to be, concerned. Who's listening? Who's recording? Like, for instance, if somebody wants to talk about SOR with me, yeah, we could talk about it. Not a problem. What's your phone number? I'm not putting it on text message.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Because everybody misconstrues a text message and takes it for what it's worth. And the way people are grabbing little snippets of what you say now. Yeah. They're not showing the whole sentence. They're only showing about this much to try and disparage you. And the big thing is, we all do this for fucking free.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So imagine if there was hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars on the line. Imagine how brutal this field would be if there was real money on the line.
Yeah.
Now, is there a potential for money? Sure, there is. There's a potential for money in everything. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But if we all got together and worked together like we're supposed to, we may A, have some answers, B, be further ahead, and C, a bunch of us who deserve it could be making money off of this and making a career. Because one of the biggest jokes I find in this field is, oh, you're not allowed to make money off of something you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So you're telling me if you were really good at baseball and you got drafted to a major league team and you got to make your way through the minor leagues, that no, I'll stay in AA for my $1,200 a month rather than my $6 million a year in the majors.
And I won't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
That resonates with me is like, if we all work together and, peacefully, I don't know, we would get the answers, because we're all looking for answers. We're all wondering not about one topic. There's so many different topics, and with each topic, there's like 12 million things within that one topic. I think like the shared information thing of like who knows what this info is. I don't know. It seems a little weird, but like that makes me wonder: are there some people out there that are being I guess trolls in a way?
Oh yeah, the trolls are always out there. Look, I'm not one to name names. It's pretty easy to figure out. Okay, it's pretty easy to figure out. And with today's political climate on both sides of the border, you guys being in the U.S., me being in Canada, with the way everybody is hypersensitive and wants to be offended by everything. Look, guys, it's easy right now. I mean, it's really easy. I took some heat from a troll who out there about a joke that you guys made. Okay, I got ripped a new one because of a pair of panties that you guys made. And my humor is that's funny. That's funny. It was meant as a joke. And sure, there's some people out there who may want to purchase them. Go for it. I'm not going to stop you, right? But the way that people all of a sudden have to explode on things, and if they know the conversation, this is how it went down. You guys made some panties, okay, with UFO Garage on them, right? And I said I wanted a pair. And somehow it led to a conversation between Ben all of a sudden getting the idea that this would be hilarious. And then he sends it to me on private messenger. And I'm in the middle of a show and I'm nearly pissing myself laughing over this. All right. After the show, I actually move it onto my YouTube screen. Right. So everybody can see this. I am dying laughing inside, because on the air I'm trying to be professional, but and then there's always somebody who's got to piss on your parade. And there was a couple people where they're just like unprofessional, embarrassing.
Yeah.
And look, I'm not going to give their names because they don't need any more press. Them and their 10 listeners can figure it on out. Right.
Yeah.
But the whole idea behind it is we take this shit so seriously that it's just unbelievable and unconscionable that we're not allowed to have fun with these topics. Everything's got to be serious. You know what? I grew up in a serious home. All right. If my parents weren't arguing, I'll tell you a little home story here. I remember walking into my mom's dental office one day. And one of my mom's friends who she worked with, my mom was a dental receptionist, and they kept on telling me how my mom was the jokester of the workplace. And I literally said to the one lady, I said, "Oh, you got to have this wrong." Because my mom is the queen of being serious. The queen of being serious. Everything is serious all the time. What will people think? That's the famous line that old Phil used to use. What will people think? Right?
Yeah. David,
people are watching. I'd look around and nobody's watching. Who? Who, Mom? Who? My mom, we gave my mom the nickname Paranoia Phil. And when it's funny because even to this day, when my mom acts up, I'd be, "Mom, you're starting to go Phyllis on us again."
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. Right. Because my mom's name is Phyllis. So, oh yeah. But at 47 years old, I could get away with that now.
Right. Right.
When I was like 12, 13, 14, I couldn't get away with that. But I mean, the reason why I'm tying that to the UFO field, man, is because we got people telling us what we're allowed to think. We got people telling us what we're not allowed to think. We got people bashing the woo. and the experiences that people are having. We got people who are calling out others as fakes and frauds when they haven't even talked to that person to see what's going on. We have people who are willing to believe every spy and spook that comes out saying, oh, that guy's telling us the truth, even though they've spent a career lying to the public and hiding from the public.
Yeah.
We have people out there calling Bigfoot a monkey when we don't know what it is. We have a BFRO allegedly taking all of their Bigfoot reports and washing them if there's any woo involved with them, otherwise eliminating the reports. We have a bunch of ghost hunters who are weekend warriors who run around claiming that they are producing scientific research into the paranormal phenomena when they haven't done a goddamn fucking experiment since high school.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes, man. Dude, I mean, it's...
Pardon me for swearing, by the way.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
You're fine. We don't have to edit it out.
No, you're not monetized yet. You're not monetized yet. That's why.
Yeah, dude.
Sorry, Dave. We're not monetized.
There's a time and a place for everything. I'm sorry we got you in trouble, by the way. That seems to be our shtick. We get everybody else in trouble, and all the bullets dodge us for whatever reason.
You know what? You didn't get me in shit. It's just amazing how the trolls come out, and the one person is a former friend of mine who I used to have on the show quite a bit, and this guy got a beautiful girlfriend, and I don't know her. Apparently, she's a nice lady. And all of a sudden it was just like, yeah, no more SOR. It's bullshit, and terrible. And it's like, okay, what did I do? Right. And
yeah,
but I mean, let's breathe a little bit, people. Let's have some fun. These topics are fun. Look, I'm not a researcher, but I sure as hell know that when I'm driving my side-by-side out to my gifting site for Bigfoot, I have a lot of fun doing that.
Yes,
I have a lot of fun when I see something that is moved at my gifting site. Do I know it's Sasquatch? No, but the child in me says, we've got some Bigfoot here.
Yes.
You know? I mean,
yeah.
I haven't even showed you guys this. Hold on.
Oh, dude. Yeah. I love it. I love pictures.
All right. Hold on. Porno. No, I'm kidding.
No, you're not.
Let me see. Still on my phone right there. Hold on.
Yes. I love it. Dude,
no.
There is a time and a place for everything. Obviously, when you're talking to guests and you're having the moment. I mean, there's respect goes such a long way. My grandmother always said, as long as you are genuine and respectful and always polite to people, people who speak bad about you, they're the ones that people are going to notice because they only know you as being genuine and a nice person. And, we've always tried to carry that over. And, we crack jokes, we have fun, but there's also that serious time. There's times where me and Ben, we'll sit up and we'll chat and be like, holy crap, dude, like the world is closing in around us. Like, we just hear this mind-blowing stuff sometimes. And yeah, there's a lot of serious stuff out there, and you respect that and you show that respect to those people who have those types of events going on in their life.
Exactly.
But on the outside, when you're looking in, and we're all like, we see all these people as like a giant family, and
that's
your family can't be serious all the time. Yeah.
That's the way it should be.
Love and have fun with each other, man.
Look, and you know what? For people out there, you got to be able to relax and enjoy it. Do your own experimentation. It doesn't have to go on the internet. You don't have to podcast about it. Just go have some fun. If you want to track down Bigfoot, or you want to look for Dogman because you read a report that in 1922 there was a sighting up on the grassy knoll in Dallas Fort Worth, and shots were fired from the library building. I don't know. Right?
Yeah.
But you can investigate anything that you want. And people have the right to do that. People have the right to do whatever they want and believe what they want. We're allowed to have fun. Like with my gifting site here, I got a small one. There it is right there. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So see in the tree, you see that round little purple orb?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Okay. That's like, when you go to the dollar store and those little purple orbs, they look like suckers, but inside the plastic sucker, it's filled with gumballs.
Yeah.
That's what that is. Okay.
Wow. It's awesome.
Yeah. So anyways, I'll tell you this fun story. Back in 2018, we have a plane crash site from where I am. I'm like pointing like, this is the direction, guys, right over here, just beyond the trees, and then go that way and then this way and then that way. Anyways, probably about from where I'm sitting right now, if I were to draw a direct line, probably 25, 28 miles away, right in the middle of the forest where there's grizzly bears, there's cougars, there's Bigfoot, there's, anyways.
Badgers.
There is badgers.
Oh, what?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. We actually have badger signs along the highways up here.
Oh.
Yeah, badgers and wolverines. We got them. Yeah. I've never seen one, but apparently they're mean little bastards. And
apparently.
Yeah, they like every day is a bad day. It's like a house cat with these things, right? Anyways, so there was in 1965, there was a plane crash. A bomb blew up on a plane, and it wasn't an act of terrorism, but it's still known as Canada's largest unsolved mass murder. 52 people died on this DC-6 prop plane when it blew up in the skies about 25 miles from me. From where I am right here. And it's right in the middle of the forest where literally we've found, bear droppings, cougar droppings, big deer, big moose, like a lot of animals that just hate you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Black bears are plenty in that area. And anyways, so my buddy Merle from Ghosts of the Great White North, if you've listened to my show, and he came out and he's like, dude, I want to investigate the plane crash. Like, okay, we got to keep it quiet. I know I'm talking about it publicly. Here's Dave saying we got to keep it quiet.
Your voice
and he's like, dude, we got to keep it quiet because there's still people in my community who have relatives who died on that. And it's still a little bit of a sensitive subject for the people of the community. I mean, a lot of people died, right?
Yeah.
Tragically and unnecessarily.
Right.
So anyways, he goes and does this investigation. You have to go into that area armed. Normally when I go into the forest, I don't go in armed. If I'm in my truck, I'll go walk around. You listen for the signs. So for instance, one sign is when you live in a big forest like I do in British Columbia, when all of a sudden the animals go quiet, like the birds, the squirrels, the chipmunks, you get to your vehicle.
Yes.
Okay. You get to your vehicle and you don't pass go and collect $200. You get to your vehicle. I remember my little guy and, last year, it was last year. We went way deep in the forest, like 28 miles into the forest because there's a big rock quarry in there. All right. And we wanted to build a rock garden. And so there's my partner and my boy, and we're driving around to all these little rock areas and just enjoying nature. We brought some lunch with us, and we got these beautiful, there's a lot of lava rock around here. All right. And because this entire area where I live 1 million years ago was one big lava field.
Oh, cool.
It's nuts, man. It's nuts. And like, there's a bunch of dead volcanoes that are around here. We have our own stump, in a little hick town called Lone Butte, which is about 25 minutes from me where I am here. And they've got their own Devil's Tower right there, dude.
That's cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I keep going by there, but I don't hear the do 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 do. I'm waiting, man. I'm waiting. but it never happens. Anyways, so we were looking for a bunch of pumice rocks, and there's this really cool, I don't even know, because I'm not good with rocks or geology or anything like that. But we got these rocks that are kind of like bluish green around here. It's just the color that they are.
Ooh,
and like we wanted a bunch of those, and so we got them. And my little guy and his mom were kind of walking, in an area. They were looking for some pumice rocks to grab, and I'm standing by my vehicle because I like to have a cigarette every now and again, but I'd never smoke in front of my boy, because it's my habit. It's not his.
Yeah.
And anyway, so they wander off down this trail, and I'm by my vehicle having a cigarette. And the birds are chirping, the squirrels are doing what they do and making the annoying sounds that they do, and you hear the ravens and you hear the robins, and then all of a sudden, dead silence.
I mean, it's got to be something bigger than you, right?
It is dead silence. Look, when you have an area, it could be anything. Okay, it could be a grizzly bear, could be a black bear, a moose, a cougar, a lynx, a bobcat. It could be a porcupine, deer. You're going to know if it's another human because you're going to hear a vehicle.
Right.
Can I add something to that?
Mm-hmm.
Steve Ranella, famous hunter, he has a TV show on Netflix. He has a segment. This is really fast. Sorry to interrupt, but he says that birds actually get louder when there's predators around sometimes to warn other birds. So, I mean, it's got to be for the forest to go silent like that.
Yeah,
something weird.
Yeah. So, I mean, all of a sudden everything goes silent, and what you got to do is now you have to react to that. So immediately, you start yelling down the path, "Hey, all the animals went quiet, get back over to the truck," and you have to do that. You have to pay attention. But anyways, getting back to the whole Sasquatch thing at this site, we go in armed there. So my buddy Mark, who I met after the forest fires here in 2017, and his family and my family become inseparable best friends. Mark never believed in Bigfoot. He'd been a hunter, a hunting guide, animal tracker. He used to track cougars and wolves on Vancouver Island. I mean, this guy knows his shit when it comes to the forest.
Yeah.
And he's loaded to the tits like any American. He's loaded like a Texan in his house. Let's just call it a spade there. I mean, I think down there, I think you guys have a rule that, by the time you're 18, you have to have a minimum of 54 guns.
That's right. In the house, on your hip, and in your car.
Absolutely. At all times, you have to be within, 100 feet of 54 of your own guns.
That's right. You never know when you're going to need it.
Exactly. So, anyhow, Mark got his introduction to Bigfoot when, after the fires, I took him to where we had found prints before. And because we had found a print, this is now late July, August of 2017. And the one Sasquatch print had been there since October of 2016. And what happened was, when the snow fell, nothing walked on the print. So when the snow fell over that 2016 to 2017 winter, then the snow melted. Because it got so dry here, the ground around the print, basically, it's much like a dinosaur print.
Yeah.
It dried out. So Mark here had never seen a Sasquatch print, and I take him to it. And he literally gets down on one knee, and he's looking at it. And for like 20 minutes, all he can say is, "I can't believe this. What the hell is this? This shouldn't exist.
Dude.
Why haven't I seen one?" And it was about a 15 and a half inch print.
And this is a guy who's been in the woods, knows everything there is.
This is the kind of guy where him and I will be walking some trails, and he'll be like, "Oh, you just walked over a wild horse trail or a footprint." And I look, and I'm looking down in the moss, and I'm like, "Where?" He goes, "Well, see how the moss is bent slightly in a hoof position?" right? And I'm looking at it, where? And then he'll have to get down a point and say, there, right here. And I'm like, you saw that between my fat ham hocks? Right?
Dude.
Yeah. I mean, that's how good.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And so he's kneeling down by this print. Now he believes in it, right? Because I showed him the evidence.
Yeah.
And so we go into this. This is October 2018. Merle goes and does his paranormal investigation at this crash site. We're in there for about an hour. Mark's walking around with his rifle on his shoulder because you got to be safe. And there's one way in and one way out. So if this is the logging road, the main logging road, this is the side road. Now, this side road to the crash site, okay, is barely noticeable from the main logging road. 9 out of 10 people are going to drive right by it, including people who know the crash site happened out there.
Right.
All right. So what's going to happen then is you take this side road, you need a 4x4. And if you drive in like a half-ton truck, you're literally going to need new paint afterwards because there's so many tree branches sticking around. And you can't take that trail without a chainsaw because there's always trees falling down along that real thin. But I mean, if you're on a motorbike or you're on an ATV or a side-by-side or a Jeep or like a Ford Ranger or something of that size, you're okay. So here we are. We drive the trail, and then you come to this dead end because there's so many trees across the road that you just can't keep going. And then there's this road to the right that you can't take your truck down because it goes into this gully that is so worn out by 4x4s and there's like a little marsh in there where literally every animal from the wandering range cattle to wild horses to moose, you see all their prints right in the mud. It's like something right out of the Kruger International Park in South Africa where everybody beds down. I'm just waiting for like a bloody hippopotamus to come out of the water, right? Anyways, so you make your way through there. Then you got to climb up this hill. And once you climb the hill up, and the hill's maybe like 40 yards, 50 yards, not very much, but for a fat guy like me, it feels like it's 6.5 miles and uphill. And then you just make your way up, it kind of flattens out and you make your way up this little incline and the crash site is right there. It's very marked. So Merle does his thing. And the reason why I mentioned that, by the way, is there's one way in and there's one way out. And if you're in there, you're going to know if there's other people. And never once have I been there out of the probably close to 24 times that I've been to that crash site now. Not once have I ever crossed paths with another person on that trail. Not once.
So it is a trail. It's not like you're even in between trees. Well, the trail was made as a part of the recovery effort. Mm-hmm. Because when the plane crash happened in 1965, it happened right in the middle of the bush. There was no logging roads in there. They had to blaze the trail. They knew it was going to be a recovery effort, but they had to blaze the trail in order to get the wreckage or most of the wreckage out. Gotcha.
Okay, so the trail literally is made, it's overgrown over time. Yeah. But I mean, you could still literally get a truck in there. Not a 1 ton or a 3/4 ton, but a half-ton truck. You could still get in there. You got to be very cautious when you're driving because literally everything sticking out is going to scrape your vehicle. That's why I carry a chainsaw with me. But now that I have my side-by-side, I'm not worried about it. Yo, come on, trees, let's go. I'll run you over, you bastards. Right? But I mean, so here we are. And Merle does his investigation. And so I want you to picture this. I'm going to try and paint a picture here. Up near the crash site, there's this little mini cul-de-sac. Okay. So when you walk up the trail or you ride up the trail, it turns into a mini cul-de-sac because that's the area where they went to for a turnaround with the vehicles to recover the bodies and to recover the wreckage. And so we walk up in there. And Merle does his investigation, and you got the main crash site here, and there's a few little pieces on the other side of the cul-de-sac. So here we are. We walk in, and Merle's like, "Hey, I'm just wondering, if there's any other he goes, is there any more wreckage here? And I'm like, well, I know there's a secondary spot where the wings and the tail section fell off the craft. I've never seen that part. He goes, well, what about around here? I'm like, I don't know. So anyways, we take this little deer trail and we hit this tree line, and then it opens up to a meadow that's probably 20, 30, maybe 40 yards wide. Mark says, I'm going to stay here because I have a great view, because Mark's our armed guard. Mm-hmm. And he goes, I'm going to stay here in case, that way I have a good line of sight in case something comes up. Nice. Okay, thinking bears, cougars, moose, ex-girlfriends, whatever it may be. And so Merle and I walk across this meadow. We stop at this big boulder. And we're standing there just kind of looking around. And it feels like, you go into that area, man, it feels eerie. It is. You got to realize there's a lot of tragedy in there. I mean, you're literally walking on areas where there was probably bodies. And
that's creepy.
And dudes, like literally you're walking on where the seats are. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So like when I say there was bodies, there was bodies.
Definitely.
Okay. And anyways, Merle and I are standing on this meadow, and all of a sudden we out of nowhere. So if Mark is to our right, so let's take, if we're looking at a clock, Mark's at 9:00. Okay. Being our armed guard. Merle and I are at the center of the clock. All of a sudden at 12:00 from us, we hear it in the bush.
What?
Whoa.
What the hell? I said, Mike. His name's Mike. Merle's name is Mike. I call him Merle. That's his middle name. And Merle is such a badass name.
It is a badass.
It is. Totally. And I said to Merle, I said, Mike, did you just hear that? Now, I always call Merle to make fun of him. I call him a mall cop. Okay. But he's actually like a bylaw enforcement officer. And he does some great, great work in rescuing animals, because animal protection, he's also part of animal protection services. But he hates it when I call him a mall cop, though. Jesus Christ, Paul Blart,
On with the gun, Dave.
Yeah. Every now and again, I'll say to him, I say, can you just slide along the floor for me? Right. Anyways.
You on a segment?
So I said to him, so every now and again, when Mike's on investigation, he takes his paranormal stuff real seriously. And every now and again, when he's in investigative mode, he's right in cop mode. So I said, Mike, did you hear that? And he goes, hear what? I said, did you hear that voice coming out of the trees? He goes, yep. And I went, So we turn over to Mark. Hey, Mark, did you just call us? Nope. Did you hear anything? Nope. But Mark is deaf as anything from, he works as an electrician in the mill, plus the amount of ammunition he's fired off. I mean, he's lucky if he's got like 3% hearing on his side, anyways. But then you add in a little bit of tinnitus, and, I'm sure his ears are just in fine shape, right? That bastard, by the way, I'm just going to clarify something. Okay, that bastard keeps telling me that if we ever get in trouble in the forest because he's slower than me, that he plans on shooting me in the leg.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that way he can get away. I'm like, you dirty bastard. Anyways, so right after we get a hold of Mark, we're like, hello, who's there? Again, it happens, right? What the Sam hell is this? And so nothing else happens. Now, this voice or whatever it is happening probably 50, 60. No, hold on. Let me get an accurate.
Yeah, what's
probably 35, 40 yards in front of us. Okay, and there's big trees in that area. There's pushed over trees, that have fallen due to age. There's brush and everything. Like if a creature, like put it this way, if there was a wild horse standing there, you'd never see it.
Right.
All right. So we take the deer trail back to the crash site. Okay. Mike, now remember I said there's two parts to the crash site, the main site and then the little part.
Yeah.
So Mike, we take the deer trail to this little part. Okay. Mark then walks over to the cul-de-sac that's in there. And I'm kind of about 20 feet from Mike. And I'm kind of watching Mark. And all of a sudden, Mike flips out. This is like a few minutes later. He goes, I'm out. I'm out. There's something over here in the bushes, because here's Mike. I'm not hearing this, but literally right by where he's trying to investigate after a few minutes, there's something in the bushes right in front of him that he can't see. And shaking and rattling. And he's thinking, like, what the hell is there? Like, we're in the middle of nowhere, guys. Like, you have to be careful with wildlife, right?
First time you hear that voice, you guys continue the investigation?
Well, you have to, right? We don't know at this point, we're thinking paranormal. Okay, we're thinking paranormal at this point.
Okay, that makes sense. Yep. All right.
So, anyways, we end up, as Mike starts pushing his way towards me, he's walking fast. Okay. He's like, dude, there's something behind me. And I'm like, hey, Mark. I yell over to Mark, because Mark's like 70, 80 feet from us. Mike's got something over here. And all I see from Mark is I'm watching his back, and he puts his hand up like this, his left hand up like this. And then he takes his backpack off, takes his rifle off his shoulder and points it right in front of him, because there is something coming at him through the trees in front of him. So we got the guy behind Mike, or Merle, and we got the one coming right in front of Mark. So Mark will say this when people ask him about it. He'll say, I don't know what it is. He goes, but I could tell you that I've been in the forest long enough to know that wasn't an animal. He goes, I know the sounds of every animal in this forest. I know what they sound like. And he goes, the noise was coming from above, and whatever it was walking towards me was on 2 feet and not 4.
Holy cow, dude.
So
that's insane.
So you got to realize, if the trail to exit and enter is like you to me, like we're looking at each other, to our right is where the shit was happening with Merle. To our left is where the shit was happening with Mark.
So there's maybe multiple.
And if you learn Sasquatch, they usually travel in threes. So if we would have went backwards, where was the third guy?
Right behind you.
And if you look at it, where were they pushing us out of the area? People who have been scared by Sasquatch will always claim that they are these, what they call sentries, will push you into an area and they will triangulate themselves on where they want you to go. And where they wanted us to go was back down the path and get the hell out of there.
Right. Whoa.
So we did. Now, getting back to the sounds, a few months later, I hadn't heard the Sierra sounds in a long time. Ronald Moorhead Sierra sounds.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, what do I hear on the Sierra sounds?
Yes.
Never mind the woo, woo, woo. But in between that, Yes.
And
that is exactly what we heard. So all of a sudden, I call up Merle, and I'm like, dude, can you believe this shit? He goes, what? I said, remember what we heard in the forest? He goes, yeah. I said, I'm sending you a link right now to Ronald Moorhead Sierra Sounds on YouTube. I want you to play them. And literally, I get this message, OMG, after he plays it. So it took a couple years, but last year, because this place has now been irking me for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we went out there for subsequent investigations of paranormal. Nothing really happened on the cryptid side of anything, but still, I was pissed that I needed to, I couldn't scratch this itch. So here we are going into the bush, And we get to the crash site. And this year I said to Mark, or last year in September, I said, dude, we got to do something. We got to put a gifting site. You know, we got all these cool toys now to get out here. We can have some fun. We're going for a ride anyways. Let's build a gifting site. Yes. Sure. Not a problem. Right. Let's do it. So anyways, we pull up there. It's like in late September, and we start walking towards, where the meadow was, but the meadow was over here, but we're following this trail. And I come around this trail. I'm like, look, let's find some place that's kind of off the beaten path. So that way, if it's away from the crash site, and that way we can kind of keep an eye on things, and hopefully it won't get disturbed by people. You know, because let's face it, people hunt in the area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You're taking a different route.
Yeah. So we start following this little trail, and we come through this opening, and guys, if that opening doesn't open up the trail is literally a goat trail about this wide. Okay. Fat guy like me, I got to walk sideways to get through. No, I'm teasing by that. It's not that tiny. But it's tight. It's a tight trail, like a tight deer trail. And all of a sudden it opens up, and it opens up into almost like the size of like a giant, like if you had double bay doors at your front door. And looking where this trail went from here, let's just say hypothetically from here to here, all of a sudden I realized that spot is where the voice was coming from, because the meadow is to my right.
Ooh.
Oh, no way.
So now in following the trail, I saw where that creature, whatever it was, where it talked to us, how it got to Merle.
Huh.
Okay, this is getting cool. So in between where we heard the voice and where Merle was standing, there's this giant friggin' tree, dude. Like literally, it's probably 15 feet round. All right.
Yeah.
Like if you look at that photo right there,
it's a big ass tree.
Okay.
Like I don't know the size of that orb thing, but that looks
okay. The orb is literally about that big.
Oh, so that's a big ass tree.
Yeah. Okay. Like, dude, like if you were on one side and I was on the other and we went to hug this tree, our arms likely wouldn't touch, or they'd be close to touching, but probably wouldn't touch. Okay. So what I put there was I put some, you go to the dollar store, you get those glass rocks. They're all colored. I put three of those up there. I put 2 cars, a plastic basketball, and that blue orb, that blue sucker. Okay. Into the bark. Okay. So once again, I'll show your audience. There it is right there. You can see the ball there.
Yep. Down there.
Okay. So my friend Mark, his daughter, right beside this tree right here. Okay. Right beside this tree, about 10 feet in front of it, there's this old rotted out log. And she decides that she wants to put something down there. Now, Mark's daughter is a brilliant young lady who suffers from autism, but she's really highly functioning. And, she's 17 years old, and she treats my son like a little brother. So
it's awesome.
It's an awesome, awesome friendship. And anyways, she decides that she wants to put something out there. So Mark reaches into his pocket and grabs a Canadian nickel from 1960s. It's all worn out. And she puts it on this rotted out log. We go back to the site a week later. The nickel is gone. Some of the toys have moved, but it's nothing that we could, that couldn't be explained by pack rats or deer getting curious or bears curious or whatever. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Right.
But the nickel is gone. Okay, so let's be realistic here. Pack rats, any type of rodent that likes shiny things. What else likes shiny things?
Yeah.
Ravens.
Yeah.
Ravens. Yep.
Crows love shiny objects. Okay, could be anything. A person walking by sees a nickel, picks it up. Okay, but here's the interesting part. We go back a week later. All right, we go for a ride because now we're getting curious, and we check out the site. The site's looking pretty normal, like nothing's happened. And, my son is standing by the tree because it's literally, I stole 2 of his toys to put out there. Right. But he thinks it's cool because we're looking for Sasquatch and dad looks for monsters. So I kind of walk away from the tree. I'm disappointed that there's nothing really moved and looking for footprints. Okay, let's check all the trails. And I get about 12 feet away from the trail. My son says, Daddy, what's this coin doing on the purple ball?
No way, dude.
And I'm like, what? So I quickly scamper over there. And there is a nickel
serious,
sitting on the ball.
That's crazy.
Okay, but here's the interesting part. Mark put down a 1960s nickel. That's a 2019 nickel.
Say that would look really shiny, man.
Yeah, that's a 2019 nickel. Okay.
Whoa.
Wait, hold on. What?
Yeah. So, but here's something. I'll show you it again. Let me just get out of the light there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let it get focused. Come on, you piece of poo. Good enough.
Yeah.
Okay. So I show this to Science Bob, a.k.a. Dr. Bob McGuire, retired head of the Hume faculty of Virginia Tech University's Science and Mathematics Department. Smart guy, right? And I'm telling him this story that the nickels have now changed. And he says to me point blank, he goes, whose dog is that, by the way?
It's mine.
Yeah, I figured.
I got 3 of them, man. 3 little corgis, and they bark all the time.
No, that's nice. Do they cuddle in your beard at night? Be honest.
They do. One of them does. Yeah. My pup does.
Yeah. So anyways, I'm a little tripped out by this. I'm like, I said to everybody who was with us, including my boss who I work for, who's a really cool dude. And, but he likes to play tricks on me because he's very Christian. Okay. So UFOs really aren't his deal. And
right.
Ghosts and Bigfoot aren't his deal, but he plays along because he does have a curiosity. Right. So I'm like, he wasn't there that day. So I called him. I'm like, when we left last week, did you put a nickel on the purple ball in the tree? And I'm like, I'm on like less than 1 bar having this conversation with him. Right. That little period there, that you have in your final Wi-Fi, everybody's all excited. Ooh, I got bars. No. I finally get out and he's like, dude, I didn't do it. He goes, I swear. He goes, I know how much you take this seriously. And he goes, I wouldn't do that to you. So I'm like, okay, cool. And so I come home. I'm weirded out here. Okay.
Yeah.
Because the nickels have changed.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to Bob McGuire about this. And he's like, Dave, you're missing the obvious. And I said, what's that? He goes, look where it's placed. I said, yeah, it's on that ball. He goes, exactly. He goes, something that did that is likely not human. I said, why would you say that? Because I'm trying to be Mr. Skeptical. Because every paranormal team has to announce who their team skeptic is. I want to be that guy for once. By the way, that drives me friggin' nuts. That's you can ask me about that later. Yeah, what drives Dave nuts in this field? Let's go through that list. Anyways,
definitely.
So here's the thing. Bob said, let's take a cell phone, for instance. Okay. Let's say my hand is a table.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Where are you putting your cell phone? Are you putting it on the edge where you could go by and then knock off and fall? Didn't even mean to do that.
Well, you did a good job, dude.
Science experiment.
Or
painting the picture good.
Or are you going to put it on a flat side? Right. In a stable area. So look again, gentlemen. Look again where the coin is.
It's perfectly center on that ball. If you would have gotten off by a little bit, it would have rolled off. I'm just wondering what the bottom.
Okay, but think about it. Any heavy snow is going to knock that off. Wind is going to knock that off. Human brushes upon that, or an animal brushes upon it, it's going to be knocked off. A tree branch or limb or stick breaking down from the tree, falling from the top of the tree, is going to knock that off. A heavy rain is going to knock that off. Sleet is going to knock that off.
Yeah.
Okay. An icicle off a tree branch is going to knock that off. Yet, here we are.
Weird.
Okay. So Bob is saying, Dave, it is human nature that when you put something, okay, like you guys are usually you're having a drink here. Where's your drink? Ben, where's your drink?
There it is.
Okay, where is it on your table? Are you able to adjust your camera to show where it is on the table?
And I've got my desktop with me, but
Okay. So never mind. That's a horrid shirt, by the way. Just a horrid shirt.
you know what my flower shirt did?
Anyway, I needed something to rib you about. Okay, but no, the reality is your drink that you just had, where have you put it? You have put it, it is human nature to put things in a safe place so that way, A, we don't lose it, but B, we don't spill or wreck it.
Yep.
Okay? That's what we do. It's like when we take off our jewelry at night, you know, like women take off their rings or their necklaces, they don't put them right by the edge of the sink because we're all paranoid that you're going to bump it and it's going to go down the drain.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
We put things in a safe place.
Yes.
That nickel, which is different from the nickel that was left, was not put in a safe place. A human would have put it in the tree, maybe in between some bark, maybe down by one of the rocks, down by one of the car toys, or in the back, because those little car toys were little 4x4 trucks, maybe in the back of the truck.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where you put it.
Where my head went at first was like, man, it must have taken a little bit of doing to even place the coin on the ball in the first.
Exactly.
Now you got me thinking in a totally different.
Look, I'm not saying it wasn't a human. Okay, it could have very well been a human who did that. I'm not saying it was a Bigfoot because we don't know. I'm not even saying that it wasn't a ghost from the crash site. Okay, because the crash site is literally in a straight line. Crash site's what? 60, 80 feet away.
8.
Okay. So we have this happening, and we have to be able to realize that it was not placed in a proper place for a human.
Right.
And unless a human was there in that exact same spot 2 weeks previous to take a nickel of 1960s variety and replace it with a 2019 nickel in a stupid spot.
Yeah, like if even if somebody, let's say it was a human, they would subconsciously put it, like you're saying, Dave, like in a place where someone's gonna see it. No one just like says, well, I guess if they see it, whatever.
Exactly. So that is where it got weird. A couple weeks later, we went back there, we put up a trail camera. We got nothing. We didn't even get a single deer, rabbit, nothing.
Nothing, huh?
Nothing.
Dude,
Terrible.
Man.
Dude.
Go ahead, Joe.
That it also seems like with how sensitive the placement of the coin is, like it had to have been like pretty recent.
Yeah.
Like maybe earlier that day, or
exactly.
Like, you think like what if your son had a nickel in his pocket and he was like, this is gonna be funny, and like or put it on there.
Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys something else. When we left that day, I moved the coin. Okay, you'll see that the coin is no longer on the ball, but are you able to see there where the basketball is?
Yeah. I see the basketball.
I tucked it in by the tree. Okay, because I wanted to put it in a place that, look, any animal or creature could get at it, but they would have to dig it out.
Yeah.
So we go back there the following week, All right. And first thing we see is the basketball.
Uh-huh.
It's moved in front of the tree now.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's be logical here. Young deer are very curious, use their paws. A moose would use their paw. There's cats in that area, not house cats, but real cats in that area. Cougars, lynx, bobcat. They could have pulled the ball out. All right. Bears, very curious, could have pulled the ball out. But here's where it gets interesting, boys. And I'm not sure if I have something here or if I have nothing.
About to find out.
I picked up the basketball, and the side I picked it up on, there was nothing. Except when I turned the basketball over, I felt something greasy.
Oh. Is that blood?
No.
Is that red or
is it like a berry or something?
It is like a brown grease, but I want you to tell me what that looks like.
What the fuck? Like a hand, like a finger, a couple fingers on there.
Dude.
Holy crap, dude!
What?
Yeah,
that's cool.
Okay, now
try to get it into the light. I don't know how clear it is on your side right now.
Not super clear, but I mean, as
that's
you're
worse.
Getting glimpses as
okay. Let me.
Ooh, that was the best one where it's like almost like inverted, like tilted. Oh, that
right there.
Yeah. I just realized it was your hand. Your hand is holding it, so that's like a proper basketball size. It's not like a small.
Yeah, it's like a rubber. You know, you go to the dollar store and you can buy like those little rubber footballs and basketballs and baseballs. Yeah. I never touch the soccer balls because, I'm allergic to soccer. Okay.
I thought they called it football up where you live.
No, hell no. Hell no. If sport was religion, soccer would be the Antichrist.
It's that way down south too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, southern United States. Go a little further southern, and it is religion.
I saw someone once really getting upset because they had a U.S. soccer story. The U.S. cut someone that he liked. I went, buddy. I said, why are you even getting upset? We're talking soccer here. like, come on, you're better than that. Let's talk real sports.
Oh man.
All right. Oh, I hate soccer with a passion.
They just built a new soccer stadium, like right in the middle of the city. Well, a little north of the city of Austin. And 90% of the people were like, what the hell? You just made traffic so bad. Why do we need a soccer stadium?
Yeah.
There's a lot of excited people.
There's no reason to bring the Antichrist into this, into this continent. And unfortunately, the only thing that soccer really provides is good for is promoting hooliganism. You look before soccer became popular in North America because, the generation above me, you go 10 years above me down to your age because nobody wants to get up for hockey practice or go stand in a rainy football field. They're all trying to cheap out and not allow their children to be real children. So instead we introduce them to this game, can't even call it a sport, this game called soccer. And next thing you know, I mean, your children start rolling around the floor like they're half dead, next thing you know, they're trying to start fights all over the place, but it's not just a one-on-one fight like in hockey. No, now we're into brawling and we got to use everything at our disposal, much like a fan brawl over in Liverpool or wherever it may be, where they bring out the fireworks. Who allows fireworks into a stadium, by the way? And they burn those old stadiums down. Oh, don't even get me started.
I had an Australian guy tell me one time, he was like, rugby's a game of hooligans played by gentlemen. Soccer is a game of gentlemen played by a bunch of hooligans. Yeah. I was like, that sounds right.
Not a fan. So anyways, with that basketball there, I really I picked it up. And the one thing about that, whatever it is on there, and I don't know what it is, it felt greasy. Okay, like wet, but it felt wet, but it wasn't wet. It felt greasy. And what was interesting about that was, my hand slipped. I went to catch my cell phone because my cell phone was slipping out of my hand. And I quickly braced the ball into my chest. And that grease that it felt like wiped off of my jacket.
Whoa.
Because I would have brought it home, right?
Yeah.
So now I got the basketball back out there. I'm trying to hope that maybe I could get another, if it is a handprint, which I don't know. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, like let's get this thing done, right? And come on, be a Bigfoot, handprint. I don't know. I really don't know. Don't know what it is. Don't know what it's about. But I know that we didn't get back there for a while because what happened then was the snow came.
Oh, no.
And when the snow comes, you can't get back out there very easily because there always comes a day where you have to think safety first.
Yeah.
And, we don't want to be flipped on over into a ravine or a gully or stuck out there where there's no cell phone service and you're all of a sudden caught in a blizzard.
Yeah.
That doesn't go well. So
man, snow ruins everything.
It does, man. Not like you 80-degree years,
No, dude, it snowed one time this year. It sucked, man. Terrible.
Outside of the tragedy of it all, I'm going to be honest. Every Canadian was laughing at Texas.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm
sure.
Well, no,
take away the horrific part, because a place like that, you're so not prepared for it.
Not at all. Not at all.
Winter
man.
tires. Who the hell needs to invest $1,600 in winter tires?
Yes.
So, what did I miss? Was there another? Did we figure out what that oil substance was?
No. What happened was, sorry, if you guys, just so you know, it's getting to that point. I know people will be watching this at a different time, but while we're doing this pre-record, I'm actually preparing for Spaced Out Radio as we speak. So
no worries.
If you see me all of a sudden face this way, that's because that's my my broadcast computer that I have to set up. So I apologize. I'm not trying to be rude and ignore.
No worries, man. No worries.
But I want to stick with you guys as long as possible here.
Yeah.
So the grease there, Ben, what it was my phone slipped in my hand and I went and grabbed the ball and my phone at the same time. You know how you kind of panic and you just kind of rush everything to your chest to settle it down? And the grease on whatever, I call it grease. I don't know what it was. Okay. It's not dirt. It's not mud. It's not blood. It's not water. It feels like grease. Ooh. And I put it to my, when my phone slipped out of my hand, I kind of pushed everything in my chest. And what side did I push on my chest, on my jacket, was the greasy side of the ball.
Oh, great.
You wiped it off, man.
I wiped it
it's
off.
Such a bummer.
I wiped it off. Typical, like anybody who's a skeptic listening to this is going to be like, of course you did, you fat Canadian. You fat Canucks ruin everything. Everything.
Dude. But that's exactly what happens, dude. Anytime you're like tracking some sort of phenomenon or whatever you want to call it, dude, like when you're like, oh, I think I have a piece of evidence, the wind blows and blows it out of your hand and then it falls into a lake. Like the most ridiculous shit always happens. And yeah.
If you want to fuck up for the first time in your life, go on a paranormal or supernatural investigation. Because you're guaranteed to screw up really, really bad. You're guaranteed.
As elusive as the phenomenon is, it's the same thing. It's fractal. Like the evidence is going to be just as elusive. There's going to be some way where there's always going to be that question left.
Yeah,
we're not at that point. I don't think that this any evidence we get is going to be crystal clear and everybody agrees that's okay. Everybody, that's true. Okay.
I got a fun game that we can play if you want to play.
Yeah.
Let's all play a game.
Let's do it.
Until we get bored. What do we hate about these fields?
Oh.
What do we hate? So I will start here. I hate the word squatch. Hate it. I have that is the only word that outside of swearing that is banned from my show.
Yeah, I didn't know that until I started like being like religiously listening to your show. And I think the first episode I was listening, I said something about squatching. In the chat was like, no.
if you want to tip me over like a cow in the middle of the night in the farmer's field, say squatch in my chat room. Yeah, seriously.
Oh my god!
I hate, and I'll tell you why I hate the word. Dr. John Bindernagel, who's a legend in this field, he passed away a couple of years ago. In 2015, I had the absolute pleasure to meet him. Okay, and when I met him, I told him about my Bigfoot story, not the one I told you, but when I actually had my sighting of two of the creatures. And I asked him after we talked, I said, what do you think about this term squatch? It just annoyed me. I had only heard it once. I only saw my only experience in watching Bigfoot television. That Bigfoot television show where they run around and some guy is farting in the background. Oh, we got squatch. We got squatch. To me, it looked, as someone who takes his field seriously, as someone who has had an experience, to me, it dumbs it down. It dumbs it down big time.
That's fair.
And so I asked Dr. Bindernagel about that. And this is a gentleman, he started researching Sasquatch at like 12 or 14 years old. And he literally became a doctor of anthropology because of Sasquatch. He never saw one.
Yeah.
But he believed so much. And his goal before he passed away, and sadly it didn't, he never saw it to fruition. But his goal was to make sure that the scientific community, his scientific brothers and sisters, would, instead of laughing at him, would take the subject seriously. Okay. And so I asked him about this whole squatch bullshit.
Yeah.
And he stood up straight and he sighed deeply and he said, 70 years of research all ruined because of one word.
Wow. Man.
Yeah.
That's pretty deep, man. Yeah, I can understand why you would totally hate that.
Sorry, I cut you off. I apologize.
No, you're good. I just, as an outsider, you hear that all the time, and it's kind of like it's kind of like if you just got into like, rock music, right? And you're like, all right, I'm going to try and impress some people and use some cool terms or whatever. And you show up in like a Nickelback t-shirt. People are like, oh,
hey, I like Nickelback. I like Nickelback. Come on. I'm one of the only 12 people in Canada that likes Nickelback.
Yeah. The guitar riffs are sweet, but yeah.
Singer today.
What's that?
Huh?
Singer. Sorry, you saw the lead singer today of Nickelback, right?
Oh yeah, Chad Kroger. I saw him. He was driving an Amazon van, and I yelled at him. I was like, Chad Kroger, dude, I love Nickelback. And he was pissed. He like slammed his door and got in his car. So he must get that all the time.
Oh my God. Can you imagine? Okay, your turn. One of your turn.
Go for it, Ben. What do you hate?
What do I hate about the field? Man, I don't feel like we've even been in the field long enough to even have an opinion. I really don't have like a hate, but I guess something that like annoys me a little bit is, man, I guess the news, the whole approach that most of news coverage like CNN and all the big ones, Fox and all them, people are starting to wise up about it, but the uncontrollable just kind of smirk and laugh, and they're not laughing like we're laughing, like they're making fun of it. They're not laughing with us. They're laughing at us. That's
yeah.
Annoys me. I mean, I don't hate it.
Can I add to that?
and where they're coming from.
The X-Files theme song that always is played with it.
Oh my God, yes.
Or the Twilight Zone.
Oh, dude, yeah, so true. Yeah, the corny, like whoever's editing, it's like I'm not talking shit about the editor. It's probably somebody higher up that's like, no, make it more.
Yeah. People won't believe this unless we play the X-Files theme song.
Yeah, it's those quick things that's like, it's like and little green men tonight. Who knew, Mike? Like, dude, that just annoys me.
Dude, on the there's a local radio station that I listen to, and occasionally, like when somebody will come on and they'll say something, and the radio DJs will be like, "Oh, we got a black helicopter here," and they will like literally play like the intro to like George Norrie's show, and like you can hear the music and shit, and like if you don't listen, you don't understand, but if you do listen to it, you catch it, but. They're so quick, like I don't know. Yeah, the dismissal is funny.
You know,
oh yeah.
Thing that's kind of become a meme is that Black Hawk helicopters. You know,
yeah,
everything's Black Hawk helicopters. You could have an AH-64 Apache flying over, and it's a Black Hawk helicopter.
Yep.
You know,
made that famous. Alex Jones said it, but Joe Rogan has. You know, he just does a hilarious version of Alex Jones saying it. That's why it's so funny and people love it. I think it's hilarious. I don't know. But yeah, all right, Joe, you're up next, dude.
Dude, I kind of feel the same way. I don't know if I really have any hates. I would say maybe what don't I like?
Anything about like merchandise. I mean, this is kind of along the lines. I think you and I had talked about that, like merchandise, like corny merchandise. We had talked. Is that something? I'm trying to help you out.
I think so. Like when you go to like UFO festivals or like like the blow up green alien dudes. Like that's kind of hokey. Like I think maybe the UFO community could definitely upgrade and update their merchandise. But we see what happens to Dave when we try to improve merchandise, right? They prefer the shitty. They prefer the shitty blow up green alien guy,
right? Yeah, let's have some sympathy for the Dave. Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste.
Yeah, Rolling Stones. Yeah, dude, that's a good one, man. That's a really good one. Instead of being so afraid of it, like the advertising, the marketing of the UFO community is pure shit. I think.
Yeah. Okay, my turn.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. Ben, this is no offense to you because you've already used the word today, but I can't stand it when people in the field use the word science, scientific, quantum, fractal. All right. Or what's the other one?
Flower short, it's fractal, Dave. Fractal flowers.
Yeah. Quantum is a big one for me. You know?
Yeah.
You know, you get somebody who is like you could tell they had a pretty tough time passing science. Yeah. And all of a sudden they're trying to break down quantum physics and quantum healing and DNA reprogramming and everything, you know, like I'm going to totally mess with your head kind of thing.
Yeah. Can you explain quantum to me? And they're like, yeah, it's like really small stuff.
It's small and then it's big and now it's small. It's small.
It's fractal, dude.
It's honestly, I mean, like people just in these fields just think they can throw the words in and it'll automatically give them credibility.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
they sound really smart.
Well, you say them because those are the only words that you know, right?
Ooh.
Bingo. Bingo.
Because I know, you know, that's how people explain it. And so when you go back to talk about it, you're explaining it the way that it was explained, right? It's like you're just repeating shit that like a bunch of smart people said.
Yeah, it's a mutually agreed upon term for an idea. I mean, to explain some of this like, it's okay. Here's the Dr. Scientist coming out. Sometimes to explain some of the stuff that people have experienced and kind of know about and are trying to describe. The only next step is no words and just telepathy. Like you can't explain the word love to somebody who doesn't know the word love. You know, I don't know. I'm just trying to.
Going a little foreigner there, aren't you? I want to know what love is.
I want to know what love is. Dude, I got one. Something I hate. This has happened to us at one of the conferences. When somebody approaches you and says, "Hey, you gotta have me on." All right.
Oh my. Oh yes.
Read this 500-page book. You gotta have me on. All right. I promise you, you won't regret it. You're like, who the fuck? Who are you?
Well, first off, can I respond to that if you don't mind?
Yeah.
Okay. This is my story. You know, it's funny because I moved you guys over to my other screen, so I'm looking here at you guys, but my camera is right here, and I'm like doing the head thing right now. Right? Anyways,
best sides.
Here's my answer to that. Number one, no, I'm not going to read your book. When asked why, let me tell you why. Because my show is not a 2.5 hour infomercial for your book.
Right.
In trade for you talking about the topics that I want to talk about, I will mention your book where people and where my audience, if they are interested in you, in talking about your book. So I had this author. Oh God, my show was probably, I was still on Blog Talk at that time. So it was probably 8-9 months old. And I had this author, a British dude who lives in the US, wrote a book. I forget the topic. The guy's not important, or the topic's not important. And literally about 25 minutes before airtime, he finally picks up his phone to confirm the interview with me. And then he says, "Well, have you read my book?" And I said, "No, I haven't." I said, but I'm going to give you, he goes, "Well, this interview is going to be a waste of time." So he starts going off on me. I said, "Sir, I'm a professional journalist." I said, "I'm going to give you one hell of an interview." He goes, "Well, I guess," he goes, "Normally I would pull the pin on this, but since, we're going on the air in 25 minutes, I guess I'll do the show." I said, "You know what? Fuck you." I said, "I would sooner do," because I wasn't on any radio stations back then. I said, "I would sooner do no show than do a show with you." And I said, "In fact, you'll never come on my show. I'm not interested in rescheduling, well, you don't have to be that. We could do the show." I said, No. I've already made up my mind. So I have no interest in doing this show with you. 4 years later, I get an email from his publicist. "So-and-so has a brand new book about such and such a topic. We would love to be on Spaced Out Radio. We've heard a lot of good things about your show, and we would love for you to bring on said author and come on the show."
We've heard a lot of good things.
Oh, the heavens poured down on me. Dave's fingers start going because I type pretty fast. "Dear Mr. So-and-so, thank you so much for your inquiry on Spaced Out Radio. But I have to tell you point blank, I regretfully tell you, I regret to tell you that such and such author will never appear on Spaced Out Radio ever. Let me tell you what happened 4 years ago, where your person insulted my intelligence and my integrity so poorly in a pre-interview phone call that I canceled the interview. And I promise you that as long as I do this show, he will never get airtime on my show." I said, "If you have any other guests," and I went right into detail. Okay. Like, I made this because this was my chance at karma here.
Yeah.
You picked up an asshole. Okay. You picked up and you were promoting an asshole. So I literally went up and down what I thought of his personality, what I thought of his professionalism, and to question my professionalism. And I even said in there, It's not my job as a show host to sell your fucking book. It's not my job to do that. My job is to entertain my guests and my audience. More importantly, my audience. I am giving you an opportunity, to talk to the people on my terrestrial radio stations, the people on my online radio stations, the people who are going to download this podcast. And our show has been downloaded almost 4 million times. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm giving you an opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't care about your fucking book. I really don't. I don't care if you have the missing link to the existence of life. You tell me about it. You are the author. Yeah. You tell me about it. You tell our audience about it. You sell your own goddamn book. It's not on me to sell your book, because you know what? There's 1 million plus authors in North America.
Yeah.
And each one of them would love, outside of the big names like Clive Cussler, Tom Clancy, who's passed, Stephen King, and others. Okay, but anybody in this field, there's probably 50,000 authors writing about ghosts, UFOs, and Bigfoot, and consciousness, and psychic ability, telepathy, intuition, time travel, and sex with aliens. Yep. Right? And those are true. I'm not even making fun of the sex with aliens thing. Okay?
Yep. Those are all
so for somebody out there to come up to me and say, "You didn't read my book?" I'm offended. Well, I'm offended. A, you didn't send me a copy, because I'm not paying for it. All right.
You to buy the book?
Some of them do. So,
oh my gosh.
Oh, speaking of which, can I give you a little bit of town drama in my town?
Yeah, dude.
So we have one of those rant and rave pages on Facebook. So no, it's called 100 Mile House Ask It. So this lady literally gets on there.
Yes.
I gotta find this, because this is just way too funny. Way too funny. Like, I honestly can't believe that somebody would actually have the balls to ask this. Where is it here?
While you're looking, I'm just saying, like, I just wanted to get this out there. Like, man, we have interviewed one person who I really wish we would have read the book to know what questions to ask, but I can also see that side of it where, like, we're not professionals. I mean, you've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
You know how to do this shit. Like, I got to a point where I just kept looking at Joe like,
yeah, I read the books for fun, right? And then we'll have a guest on. And to clarify to anybody listening who has asked to be on our show, we love when people ask to be on the show, but it's like there's a certain like etiquette that goes along with it. And like in person, when you just have like this, like, oh, I'm so good, you totally should have me on the show. Like, that shit doesn't fly. But like, if you're a fellow podcaster, or you're somebody out there who's just out on the grind, or you're into the subject and you're like, hey, is it cool if I come on the show? Absolutely. Absolutely.
But
yeah, man,
we're talking about a specific thing where someone literally walked up to us and said, hey, I don't know anything about you guys, but you guys got to have me on, dude. You have to.
Yeah. I got one guy trolling me right now where he, and I'm sure he's a nice person. Okay. I'm sure he is. But I mean, this guy's trolling me literally about, a piece of seaweed that he's calling an alien shrimp that communicates with him
on this podcast.
Yeah. So anyways, he thinks that because he's, he's gone on a bunch of smaller shows, and he's done like 8 of them this year to talk about how he parties with aliens every fucking night, that all of a sudden I want it. Now that's high quality woo. I am tempted, right?
Yeah.
I am totally tempted.
Sea monkeys?
No, I don't know what the hell it is. The post must have been removed. Hold on. Let me go to the other page. But literally, I mean, this is the same type of shit we're talking about. On my local 100 Mile Facebook page where I live, this lady gets on there and says, hey, everyone, wondering if you would like to join us this weekend to bring your chainsaw to cut down some trees and chop up the wood with us. We'll make a great day of it. And then if you need firewood, you can take it for $100 a truckload. So this lady, I respond to that and say, hold on a second here. You want me to come over there, give you free labor, free gas, free time to use my chainsaw, put wear and tear on my chainsaw, and then chop up the wood, which means I got to bring my wood splitter over. And then you're going to grace me, after giving you all my free time, you're going to grace me with allowing me to pay you $100 for doing your work.
I think she's perfect for a sales, a cold call sales position.
Oh my God. I was dumbfounded. How do you even have the balls to ask that?
Are you sure this tree wasn't like the Keebler tree? Like, you can't make money by having this.
No, I'm trying to find the post here, man, because I'm still shocked that someone posted that. Hey, can I go to my I'm stuck with Facebook. Can I go to my profile and see where I responded, like a history or something?
Search on your well, shit, man. Sometimes I'm really
activity
bad.
Log.
That'll show like your responses, but if that person deleted their message, everything gets deleted.
Yeah.
So
show your nudes.
I'm just looking here. Hold on.
That's insane, dude. That's hilarious.
Well, I mean, the analogy is apt. Like, it's totally on point. Like, you're trying to sell this thing. Well, you're trying to get something done, and then you do this mental acrobatics to get this person to feel like, oh, well, I guess I would have paid $100 to get a truckload of wood anyway. But I got to. I don't know how to justify it. I'm trying to see the other side, and I just can't.
No.
I think the post got erased. I think the post got erased, but it was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious that someone would have the audacity to put that in. Like, what kind of balls do you have to have as a person saying, come over and help me cut down trees? And by the way, if you need the wood, you can pay me for it.
Yeah. So that's anybody. So I guess in your opinion, if you were to give us any advice, is it possible to have a good interview without reading?
Yeah. Look, when I interview somebody about their book, if it's somebody like David Politis, okay, I'm going to read the book, because somebody like David Politis is very, very in tune with the stories. Okay. And I'm not, that's no disrespect to any other author, but look, I do a show 5 nights a week. I am the producer. I am the host. I am the editor. I am the one who makes the phone calls. My awesome and extremely talented Corns, the booking guy, is the guy who books the guests. He does an amazing job. So here I am. I have a full-time job during the day, and now I'm supposed to play book reader at night. Explain to me. My day starts at 7:15 in the morning. Let's take today, for instance, okay? Let's take today. I started my day today at 7:10. I hit my snooze button 3 times. So I got up at 7:20. My little guy, who has to be at the school bus at 7:53, he is playing on his iPad, waiting for dad to wake up and get motivated. I have to make my son breakfast. And while I'm making his breakfast, he gets changed. After that, we have to get ready for, brush our teeth, brush our hair, put on some deodorant, because he's a cool looking kid who likes to smell good. Okay. And then I walk him to the bus stop. So on a normal day, after I do that, I walk back to my house. I let my dogs out, and then I go in and I go for my shower, and then I have to get ready for work, which I'm usually at work by about 9 o'clock, 9:10. All right. Much to the chagrin of my owner, I am late every day, and I'm okay with that. He's not, but I don't care. We're best friends. and I make them money. So anyways, then I will come home. If I'm lucky, I'll get home by 5:30. All right. I only live 10 minutes from work, but if I'm lucky, I'll get home by 5:30. And then I have exactly, if I'm lucky to get home at 5:30, I have exactly 2 hours to wind down, play with my son, eat dinner, relax. Maybe if I'm lucky, I want to try and find some time to do a workout. Okay, which I haven't been successful at, hence the weight gain. And then at 7:30, I'm in my studio until 12:30, 12:36, which means that by the time I shut everything down and crawl into bed, it's usually around 12:45, 12:50 a.m. But apparently I'm supposed to read a book.
Yeah, man. With that schedule, it's got to be hard to do that background. I mean, that's where
look. Here's the other thing, guys. And sorry, Ben, for cutting you off, but I want to make this point. Your time with your and Joe's time with UFO Garage is valuable, right? It's very valuable.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying about that is this. Okay. If your time is valuable, then you're not going to have your time wasted. All right. So when we're doing this for free, we're doing it as a hobby. We're doing it as a passion. Some of us are trying to create a business out of it, like myself. Okay. My time is valuable. Your time is valuable. It's not as if you don't have time to read that book, your show, the people who are tuning into your show, they're not interested in the book. It's like with anything, you have to convince them to buy the book, right? You're not running an infomercial.
Yeah.
Right.
Your time is valuable.
Yeah.
Right. Your time is valuable. Even the people listening to this who will disagree with what I'm saying, guess what? Their time is valuable. Their time is valuable. They have chosen to spend time with Ben. They have chosen to spend time with Joe. They have chosen to spend time with Dave.
Right.
So if I pull my Ron Popeil and my GLH number 9 head spray so it doesn't look like I'm bald, all right, just set it and forget it, right? If I pull that shtick, what good am I doing my audience? My job is not to waste my time to give you guys an infomercial. It's like today, you guys bring me on. How many times have we really mentioned my radio show? Barely any. After the beginning introduction. Once, twice, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. Now imagine, we've been talking for almost 2 hours here. Imagine if all of a sudden I said, guys, the only way I'm coming on is if all we talk about is spaced out radio.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense, man. Like there's a fine line where I guess it's different with everybody. It just depends on who you're talking to, I guess. If you're having a guest on the show, we found this out. I think, Joe, you'll agree, and I don't want to speak for you, but everybody's a little different.
Yeah.
They're approaching like, hey, I want to come on and talk about their book. Dude, we've had amazing people come on and dude, like flawless, great time, great people, great convos. And we've had kind of not okay some, but like they're still not bad. But that infomercial thing, I think when we feel that coming on, we're pretty good at navigating away from that. And as long as we've been lucky, I guess is what I'm trying to say is that.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, you know what? 99% of the people who write books, they understand. If they say to me, hey, you haven't read my book. Yeah, that's right. I said, but you know what? I said, I'll give you the best fucking interview you've ever had.
Yes.
I will. I promise you.
I mean,
I will.
Dude, like,
yeah, that's all you can ask for, man. I mean, if you're going to, that's because that's what they want. They want a good interview, whether or not you know what the book is or whatever, And you're exactly right. It's up to them to sell it. It's their book.
Look, it's the same thing when you have an experiencer on who has talked with aliens, been faced like Samantha Mowat. Let's take Samantha Mowat, for instance.
Samantha Mowat, yes.
Yes. By the way, isn't she just wonderful?
So awesome.
Amazing.
Cannot wait to meet her, for sure.
Oh, yeah. You guys need a road trip up here, and then we'll go up and see her. And then we'll go camping with her, where she'll take us into the forest, and literally her and I will summon aliens.
Yes, dude.
Let's do it.
Yeah, dude. That is real deal, man. She is the real deal. Complete real deal. Anyways, but you take Samantha Mowat, for instance, and using her as an example here. Imagine if literally you spent 3 hours just promoting Samantha Mowat. Okay. And this is Samantha Mowat. She's wonderful. She's this, she's that. She's Samantha Mowat. And by the way, she's had a couple of alien experiences too, right? It's the same thing. What are you getting out of it? It's not about you. It's about what are you selling? And I don't know. So many of these authors, man, not many of them. I shouldn't say so many. That's rude. That's like total cherry picking. All right. But a lot of these authors think they're almost entitled. You know what? I hate to tell a lot of these authors, but literally since Amazon pretty much created a market for self-publishing, I don't give a shit if you're in a Barnes & Noble or if you're only online. I just need somebody to fill my time to talk about this subject. So it's either going to be you or someone else. And if you're going to be offended that I didn't read your book because I don't have time, because the only 2 hours of my day that I would love would be to spend with my children and maybe a quarter of the time my spouse, then
yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair, man. Yeah, there's not even, you can't even pick that apart. I mean, that's totally fair.
You're saying this. This is just you kind of like looking at, hey, this is something that I don't like about the process, and still you're able to have. I mean, man, I'm not trying to grease you up here, but I mean, I haven't heard a bad interview yet, so you must be doing.
There's been bad ones, dude. There's been bad ones. I'm not gonna. I won't sugarcoat it there. I mean, we all have a bad night. We all have. I find, there are certain subjects that I hate talking about. And to me, it's like watching the clock go backwards.
Yeah.
I'm not good with deep science. I'm not good with ancient aliens. I'm not good with quantum divinity. All right. I love the brass tacks. Tell me a good woo story. That's what people of the night want to hear. That's what they want to settle in on.
We need the woo, Dave.
Well, but here's the thing. The woo right now, unlike a lot of people out there who are out there criticizing people who talk about the woo, we have to realize big time right now. And if you're blind to this, I feel sorry for you. But we have to realize that since 2016, when Donald Trump was elected, whether you love Trump or hate Trump, okay, there has been major division in North America. And it even affected here in Canada with Trudeau. All right. People love him. People hate him. People wish that he would fall off a tree and hit every branch on the way down. And there are people who would say that those who don't support him, same thing with Trump. You're either a Trump guy, you're a Biden guy, because you don't have any choice on a third party. But the point that I'm getting at is this.
Right.
All we have heard over the years is COVID and politics. That's it. COVID and politics. This, COVID and politics. That, COVID, politics, COVID. Mask, no mask. You're an anti-masker. You're an asshole. Right?
And then, aliens exist. Back to the main story.
like seriously though. I mean, I want other stories. So the point that I'm getting at right now is, for my audience, they have, from the time they wake up in the morning till the time they tune us in, all right, they literally have been inundated with fear-mongering, poor news, poor etiquette, poor politics. They're tired of it. They are tired, whether they're Republicans or not, they're tired of Trump. Whether they are Democrats or not, they are tired of Biden. Whether they are human or not, they're tired of COVID. But you know what they get when they come to my show? They get woo.
Yeah.
They get most 90% of the time when you're listening to my show, you get woo. And when you get the woo, okay, that means you're allowed for 3 hours a night to take your mind off of everything. You don't need to worry about you don't need to worry about the kids arguing, the dog pissing in the house, whether or not you're Pepsi versus Coke. Are you red or are you blue? Same as in politics. Are you red or are you blue? All right. We don't need to worry about it. It doesn't matter what your color of your skin is. It doesn't matter what religion you are, what sexuality you are. Because you know what? I don't care. The woo doesn't care. The only thing I care about is when you enter my chat room, have I said hello to you? Number one. And you guys have been in my chat room. You know damn well I say hello to each and every person. And I'm pretty good at picking up the new faces too, because that's important. Because get this, guys. This is what we forget. Time is limited. And the fact that out of someone's day that they would give Dave Scott from Spaced Out Radio 3+ hours of their day. My God, man. You know what I would do if I had 3+ hours in a day? I would sleep. I would try and learn my son's middle name. No, I'm teasing there. Okay. I would learn, I would work out because I like working out.
Would you have time to read my book that I've sent to you?
Guys, I'm 5 books behind in my Tom Clancy, Jack Ryan series. I'd be caught up on that, right? I would be caught up on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Right. But you know what? The fact that somebody chooses to spend 3+ hours a night with me, dude, that needs to be respected.
Oh, yeah.
You don't shit on that.
That's magical, man.
You don't shit on that. And you know what? For all my critics who say, well, you bring on all these woo guests and people, who want to take this stuff seriously, they don't like the woo. Screw you. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. You know what? Because for every one of you, my audience numbers show that I have a couple thousand people for every one of you who is enjoying what we do.
Right.
Enjoying what we do. And if I am able to make anyone escape for just a few minutes because it may make their life all of a sudden a little bit easier, we've done our job.
Yeah. That's the goal.
That's what it's all about.
That's the goal, man. Yeah.
Absolutely. I have priests who listen to this show. I have Satanists who listen to this show. I have trans people in my chat room. I have lesbian and homosexual men in my chat room. I don't care. I have black people. I have Hispanic people. I have Japanese people. I have Middle Eastern people. You know what I do when I see somebody from India come into my chat room? Holy cow, you're listening to us from India? I have one guy who's in there almost every night from Singapore.
Yeah.
What I care about is this. You are taking the time, whether you are LGBTQA+, whether you are black, white, First Nations, Hispanic, whether you are from Japan, China, the Middle East, UK, you're getting up at 5 a.m. We have people who get up at 5 o'clock in the morning every morning in the United Kingdom who tune into us. I don't care because you know what? What I do care about is wherever that person is, whether they used to be a man, they used to be a woman, they're black, they're brown, they're white, they're whatever the color is, can you believe that, man? They're taking the time to spend it with us.
Yeah.
Right? That's the cool thing.
That's the best part.
And the woo is universal. It's like universal love, man. Universal woo is like universal love. What I care about is, are you enjoying the show? Yeah. What I care about is, how good is your beard? You know,
it's all right. It's all right.
You know, what I care about is are you enjoying yourself? Are you enjoying the chat room? You know, are people treating you with respect in the chat room? Right?
Right.
Like, for instance, in our chat room, I know we have a couple trans people in there. I don't care. Why should I? You know why we're coming together? Because of the woo.
Well, the woo, man.
People need that escape, man. People need that escape from everyday life. And that's the point that I'm trying to get at, is people need that escape every day in order to relax, to unwind. And if there are people out there who are going to bitch me out because I've had certain guests on the air that they don't agree with, or I talk about woo, or I, promote the woo, or I promote stories that don't have proof, so be it, man. My show is about entertainment. My show is about allowing people to be, oh my gosh, I've experienced that too. Or, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. Or, oh my gosh, that sounded stupid. Or, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me.
Right. Yeah.
Enjoy like when somebody comes into my room and starts bitching about my guests, my first comment to them will usually be, hey, so-and-so, why don't you just sit back, relax, and enjoy the woo?
Right.
We all are.
Dude, we need to make Dave a shirt. We need to make like a parody Wu-Tang Clan shirt and call it the Woo Dave Clan and have the woo on there, dude. Woo Dave Clan ain't nothing to fuck with, you know?
Only if you two are joining me on that.
We'll be part of the Woo Dave Clan.
Oh my!
We got to keep it tight, though.
Yep. Dude, Joe, that is such a good idea.
Do it. Let's make it happen.
A Woo Dave Clan.
Woo Dave Clan.
Woo Dave Clan.
Anyways, guys, I got to wrap up because I got to get ready for my show.
Sounds good, brother.
I love you guys, man.
Thank you so much for coming on tonight, man, and hanging out with us. It's always great hanging out with you, dude, and getting the chat.
Dude. Let's do each other a favor, man. Let's like do this like once a month.
Yeah. Oh, totally. I'm down.
Yeah, man. Let's do it like once a month. And people, your audience and my audience will get the double treat because I'll bring you guys on to the round table because the people really loved you on the round table. And then we'll do this once a month and let's just rock and roll with it, man.
I love that idea.
And in between, you guys could teach me how to play guitar.
It's there.
I'm down. I'm down.
Either Joe's gonna have to teach us.
Yeah. I don't care. I just want to learn how to play.
Bass player.
Yeah. I love it, dude. Yes. Dave, thank you so much, man. I love you, brother. Thank you, man.
Yeah, great talk, guys. Thank you so much. And like I said, everything I said about you guys right off the bat, I love you guys. Love what you're doing. You're bringing fun back into ufology and keep it up, man. It's addicting.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome, man. Thank you very much, dude. Thank you very much.
No problem.
All right, man. We'll talk to you soon. Let's get that on the schedule for the monthly thing soon, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you later, man.